All right, hey guys, what's happening? Welcome to episode 1, why a 12-week challenge. I'm going to give it a few minutes, a few seconds, see who comes on. What I'll ask to do, if you can do me a favor, if you can hear me, just comment below. I've got this new headset on and I just want to make sure everyone can hear me. All right, so if you can hear me, comment below. Secondly, as you jump on here, just hit like. Okay, so as you've jumped on here, just hit like for two reasons. Number one, firstly, I can see who's on here. And then secondly, it just helps other people see as well. So that's sort of the way Facebook works. The more people that hit like, the more other people are going to see it as well. All right, so I'll start in a couple seconds, but just as you're jumping on, hey KJ, what's happening? As you're jumping on, just hit like so I know that, you're here. Hey Julie, how are you? Awesome, looks like the sound's good. Hey Lisa, how are you? Hey Troy, awesome, cool. All right, well, hey, I might get into it. I'll just start with a bit of a basics of what I'm going to do for the next 12 weeks. I'm going to do one of these. Hey Patty, how are you? I'm going to do one of these every week for the next 12 weeks. Okay, and it's going to be a different topic. I've got a bit of a plan about what I'm going to speak on, but I also want it to be as interactive as possible. So as I'm speaking, just put your questions below down there, and I'll either answer them to the end, or if I can, I'll answer them as I go. I've already got a few questions that people have asked, but that's going to be the basic format. Okay, I've got a topic that Chantel, how are you? I've got a basic topic that I'm going to talk about, but please feel free to answer as many questions as possible. All right, we're going to get into it. So the topic today is why a 12-week challenge. All right. Now, when I run boot camps, I always do 12-week challenges. And hey, I understand it's not the be-all and end-all. All right. There's a million different ways to skin a cat, but just my personal opinion, I'm only ever going to run 12-week challenges, and that's what I want to run by today. Why I do these. Now, let's start with, how I would run up a boot camp. Okay, so if I was starting up a boot camp tomorrow, this is what it would be. Hey, here's Jono's 12-week challenge. It's $50 a week for 12 weeks. You get access to 5 bootcamp sessions a week. You also get a copy of my 12-week home program. You also get a copy of my basic nutrition guidelines. You also get a copy of my recipe ebook. You also get a copy of my smoothie ebook. You also get a copy of my at-home bum workouts, my at-home ab workouts, and you get a free skipping rope and a free yoga mat and a free pair of boxing gloves. All right. Also, in week 2, we're going to do a no sugar challenge. And in week 4, we're going to do a walking challenge. And in week 6, we're going to do a bring a friend week. And then if your friends want to continue, they can do a little 6-week challenge in week 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. In week 8, we're going to do an accountability week. In week 10, we're going to do one of those fun runs, City to Surf or Tough Mudder or something like that. And then in week 12, we're going to have a bit of a dinner, celebrate, and then do it again the next week. All right. Now, there's a few things going on there. All right, and I'll explain them sort of one by one, but there's an actual science to that. All right, now what I mean by that, hey Kerry, how are you? What I mean by that is that as a boot camp instructor, ideally we want that boot camp to be as successful as possible. All right, and now what I'm referring to here is if you want boot camp to be your main thing. Okay, so if you're running a boot camp and you're like, hey, I really just want to work 1 hour a day and get as many clients as I can in that 1 hour, and that's my major form of income, and then anything else extra I do on the side is cool, but I want boot camp to be my main thing. All right, to do that, you want to pretty much get your clients to be paying as much as possible, really. All right, and that's why you put together like the 50 per week. If you're getting people to pay per session and you're charging whatever, $10, $20 per session, you may not get that amount per week, right? But if you know that every person you register is going to be $50 per week, if you can get 20 people registered, there's your $1,000 a week, every week for 12 weeks, okay? Now, here's where the crossover comes, all right? It obviously works better for the client if they're just paying per session. All right, if you're a client, it's going to work more in your favor if you're just paying per session, because you don't want to pay if you're not coming. What's the point, right? And then the trainer, it works better the other way. Okay, from a trainer's point of view, it works better whether that person's coming or not. You're still going to, they pay the same either way, and they've got the option to come, but if they don't come, it's their loss. That's what you want, okay? But the client wants this here. So what's important, or that's what this system is about, is meeting them in the middle. So you're sort of saying, hey, look, it's $50 a week for 12 weeks and you get 5 sessions. So it's like $10 a week anyway, which is a bargain. But even if you can't come to the sessions, that's okay, because look at all this extra stuff you get outside it. Even if you only make 2 or 3 sessions a week, that's what most people do anyway. You still get the home program, you still get the nutrition guidelines, you still get the ebooks, you still get the home workouts, you still get the boxing gloves, you still do this in week 2, you still do this in week 4, you still do this in week 6, you still do this in week 8. They get so much value outside of the sessions. So you basically want your clients to be happy to pay, even if they're not coming to the session, because they're getting so much value outside of the session. All right. Comment below and let me know if that makes sense. But the basic, I guess, philosophy behind it is that it's value, right? You want people to get so much value out of your sessions, okay? And that's the key to it. All right. Now that's sort of one part. That's the value stacking, which is important. All right. But what's just as important is also the 12-week aspect to it. Okay. So it's important this is the reason why I like 12 weeks as well. And I'm going to go around this in a few different ways. Okay. But to keep it simple, the major reasons why I like the 12 weeks is because I've put together a set program there. Right? It's, hey, in week 2 we do this, in week 4 we do this, in week 6 we do this, in week 8 we do this, in week 12 we do this, in week 12 we do. It's a whole program there. So I'm just reading Kerry's thing here. Makes sense. How many sessions would you offer per week? It's up to you, Kerry. Basically, the more sessions you offer, the more you can charge. All right? Because it's giving people the more options they can come to. Me personally, I just do one a day. All right? So me personally, I just, Monday to Saturday, one a day. Okay, 5 or 6, up to you, whatever you do. But the more sessions you offer, the more you can charge, or the more you can justify that rate. All right. So the second part of the 12 weeks is that it's a full program there. So you're not really saying to people, hey, it's a 3-month commitment, or you need 3 months to get results, which all that stuff is true as well. But this adds another thing to it. It's not like people say, oh, can I just join for a month, or can I just join for 2 months, or whatever. It's literally like I'll get to that question in a sec, Sarah, the 6 week. So yeah, so it's literally like a whole program there, and I need 12 weeks to get all that stuff in, right? I can't do like a 6-week program, or like an 8-week program, or like join for a month, because they just don't get all those benefits. All right. And also there's something about 12 weeks that makes it like a community. You get a whole heap of people that start together at the same time. They go through the same journey together, and then they finish at the same time. And there's just something about that I love. All right. Now, just reading here from Lisa. And are these sessions the same facility or multiple locations? Okay, so good question by Lisa. Lisa's asked, when you run your sessions, do you run them all at the same facility or multiple locations? I like the same facility because I'm big on like consistency. The Saturday session, however, I do like to keep random a little bit. Now, there's a million different ways you can do this. There's no right or wrong. But to keep it simple, I run my sessions out of a high school. Okay, so in winter, it's pretty much Monday to Saturday in the high school, but every month or so, we'll do something random on a Saturday. We'll go and do a fun run. We'll go and do a stair session. We'll go and do a rock climbing session. We'll go and do a session at a martial arts gym so you can vary it up. And then in summer, my Saturdays is always outdoors. Okay, so it'll be either an outdoor session at a park, or a session at a beach, or a session at the stairs, or something like that. But pretty much Monday to Friday is always at the same facility. Okay. Now, the other reason why I like a 12-week challenge is, as the trainer, financially, it works better. Okay. So I'm just going to read this from Kerry. Do you think location is a big detriment of the length of the challenge? Thoughts? Big determinant of the length of the challenge. I'm not too sure what you mean by that, Kerry. Just say that. Write that again and I'll answer it in a sec. So the other reason why I like 12 weeks is financially, for the trainer, it works better. Right? Because every client you sign up, if they're paying $50 a week for 12 weeks, each client is really a $600 sale. And there's some huge advantages to that. A, if you know that each client is worth $600, you know how much you can spend on your marketing. Okay, and I'm just going to simplify this to make it really easy. But let's say, for example, you've got a boot camp coming up. Okay, and you want to do your advertising for it, and you're like, oh, I don't know, how much should I spend? If you spend, say in your first week, you spend $100 on Facebook ads, and you get a client out of it. All right, so you've spent $100, you know you've made $600. That's a $500 profit. Right? The next week you might say, hey, if I put in $100, I'll make $600. Now I'm going to put in $200. All right, then you get an extra 2 clients, and you can keep sort of building it from that. All right, but you want to have that set length of, or I guess that you want to know how much you're making per client, and you want that to be ideally as high as possible, because the more money you get from that client, the more money you can then spend on your marketing to grow your bootcamp again. The other side to it as well. So I live in so I'm just going to read Kerry's here. I live in a small community, not willing to commit to 12 weeks. Okay, cool. So I'll get to that. Yeah, so the other advantage as well of having that is if you've got people for 12 weeks and they're paying that $600 there, then you can also put that money back into them as well. Okay, so say if you know you're making $50 per week from that person, $600 per 12 weeks, all right, you might say, hey, I'm going to spend $50 in the first week and give these people a gift. I'm going to give them a free boxing gloves and a yoga mat and a skipping rope, because they're giving me $600. I'm just going to give them $50. All right, and then, or maybe in the last week, you might shout their dinner or their breakfast at your end of session challenge or whatever it is. All right, so the more, I guess, money you get from them, the more you can put it back into them as well. Okay, just reading Lindsay. Yeah, I'm going to put this on. You can watch the rest of this later as well. And the other advantage to 12 weeks as well is that you can focus on that person's training. So why I like 12 weeks over like a 6 week or an 8 week or something like that is I can spend 2 or 3 weeks just grinding on my marketing, grinding on my sales calls, grinding on my emails, so that I can do that for a couple weeks, and then everyone's registered for 12 weeks, and then I can kick back. All right, I'm just reading Carlia's here. You said you take your clients rock climbing into martial arts. Do you take that session, or is there an instructor unrelated to your business taking the class? All right, cool, I'll get to that. Where was I? Okay, so with yeah, so you can grind on your marketing for 12 weeks, or for 2 or 3 weeks, and then you get people registered for 12 weeks and you can just focus on their training, which is what we're good at, okay? When I used to run a boot camp where you could sort of come and join at any time, I was just always marketing and always focusing on training, and people were joining at different times, and it was super hard. Okay, the reason I like 12 weeks is I can spend 2 or 3 weeks on marketing, get as many people registered in that 2 or 3 weeks, and then just spend 12 weeks working on retention and giving those people the most amazing experience so they sign up again and again and again and again. Okay, and then the other advantage for the 12-week challenge is at week 6 you can do your bring a friend week, and everyone's friends can then join up for a mini 6-week challenge. Okay, at week 6, you've had people training for 6 weeks, they're loving it. Hey, bring a friend down for free. It's bring a friend week for week 6, and then you can get as many people, then you get as many of their friends registered for a little 6-week challenge at the second end of your 12-week. Okay, that's exactly the same. They just join in and they just participate in the second 12 weeks, the second 6 weeks. All right, so that's sort of the basis of what I want to cover today. I'm just going to go through some of those questions now. If you've got any questions that you want to add, just jot them down the bottom here. But let's have a look here. What do we got? Okay, cool. So the first question was from Karina, and she was like, "Hey, I want to do," and this will probably tie into your question as well, Kerry, with the 12 weeks. So Karina said, hey, I've usually gone for 12 weeks, for 8 weeks instead of 12 weeks, because I think 12 weeks is too long. And that's similar to Kerry's, where she's like, hey, I'm in a small community, people don't want to commit for 12 weeks. And look, everyone's different. Okay, I'm not going to say this works for every single person. My sort of philosophy behind this is, mine isn't even really a 12-week challenge. Mine's a lifetime. Okay, I don't just want people to, I'll get to that question. So Holly's asked, do you roll over to another 12 weeks straight away? I'll get to that. Dan Carter, would you run these challenges as a group boot camp, or could you run semi-private at the 12 week as well? Okay, cool. I'll get to that. Now, what was I going to say? So where was I at? Okay, cool. So yeah, it's going to be a little bit different for everyone. Some, 8 weeks might work for some, 10 weeks might work for some, 12 weeks might work for some, but mine is actually a lifetime. When I get a client, I don't want them to train with me for 12 weeks. I want them to train with me for life, okay? 12 weeks is just like almost like a sales tool, okay? Like when I speak to someone on a sales call, I really want that person to train with me for life. But the thing is, if they say to me, hey, Jono, how long should I train for? How long should I train for to get results? And I'm like, hey, really, you should train with me for the rest of your life. They're going to be like, rest of my life, screw that. But if I say, hey, look, start with 12 weeks. See how you go with 12 weeks. That's what most people do. And then, if you like it, keep going. If not, no dramas. Okay? And then my goal is to get them for the next 12 weeks and the next 12 weeks and the next 12 weeks and the next 12 weeks. All right? So that's, that's sort of what I'm going with that side of things there. And where are we? Okay. So Joanne has asked how to transition with regular clients. Okay, so that's another common thing. Say, for example, if you've got your regular clients, okay? And how can I put it? So say you've got your regular clients and they're sort of saying, all right, hey, Kerry Tyrell, what about starting out on 6 week, then each challenge build up length? Yeah, hey Kerry, you could do that. Me personally, I would just go for 12. The 6 weeks I find I just keep marketing over and over and over and over again, so it doesn't really work for me. But yeah, hey, you can do it as a test. Kathy, what time do you train each day, if only once a day? Okay, good question by Kathy. If you're just training like once a day, there's a million different ways you can do it. Okay, you can either just train the same time every day, or you could do like a mixture and you can say, hey, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm training at 6 a.m. Tuesday, Thursday, I'm training at 6:30 p.m. There's no right or wrong. There's just heaps of different ways you can do it. All right. Anyways, where was I going with this? Joanne, how to transition with regular clients. Okay, cool. So there's a few different ways you can do it. You can either just go like cold turkey and be like, hey, this is what it is. You can either just go with like, just the new clients, and you can keep your old clients on your same sort of system, and the new clients, they just get the new system. Or you can meet in the middle. You can sort of say, hey guys, look, this is what we're going to do. Okay, we're moving on to this system here. From now on, anyone that joins is going to be $50 a week, and it's $50 a week because you get this, and this. And because in week 2 we're going to do this, and this, and you justify it like that. You can also justify it with your experience as well. You can say, well, hey, look, I used to charge $10 per session, but now because I'm like a better trainer and I've been training for 2 years, I've increased my rates. And also I want to continue to be a better trainer. So I'm going to continue to do more courses, and for me, able me to do these more courses and get your clients better results, then I'm going to have to do more courses and increase the rates. I also want to bring more equipment down to training. All right. So the more equipment I bring down to training, I obviously need money to get that equipment, which is why the rates are going to increase. And then also, like, it could just be a pure business thing. It could just be pure like, hey, I really had 2 choices. It came down to 2 choices where either A, I was gonna just close down this boot camp and run at Macca's because I wasn't making money, or B, I can try it this way and make money. All right. Anyways, that's all I've actually got time for today. If you liked the video, just hit like so I know that you liked it. Any questions, just comment below. I think I skipped a few questions in there, but I'll go back and have a look over them anyway. I'm going to do this every Monday at 7:30 a.m. My plan was to put it in my community Facebook group, but looking at some of the people joining here, I think I've put it on my personal one. All right, but anyway, I'll tee that up and I'll put it together. But anyways, that's the video. If you liked it, just hit like. If this is on my personal one, it's tailored for personal trainers. So if you know any PTs that want to watch it, just hit like. I'm just going to quickly read Janelle's here. I went cold turkey with one client, and because she'd been with me for 2 years, she felt like she had been put to the side and left after week 1. What would you do? Where are we? Okay, cool. So I'm just gonna, Janelle, I might PM you with that one. All right. But anyways, guys, that's it for today. Just comment below or hit like.